everyone! Today I'm showing a video on how to groom my Peruvian guinea pig. This is Griffin. He's about 2 years old, and I like to start every single groom with doing their nails. This just makes it a lot easier to go through the rest of the groom without me having to worry about them accidentally scratching me if they get nervous or frightened or anything. And this clip isn't the clearest, but if we need to attach something in the future, then we can do that. But nail clipping is pretty self-explanatory. So in this next clip, I start by taking the metal comb and just running it all over his body to get any loose tangles out. You don't want to be ripping through their hair, so if there's any hard areas that seem like they're really dirty or knotted or matted, then you're going to want to cut those out with the comb or with a clipper before you comb through them. In this clip, I just start with the rough trim. So these are curved shears, but you can use whatever scissors you would like and feel comfortable with. And this will just help to get excess hair off so you don't have to worry about washing this and drying this. But I just go very roughly all over and kind of give myself an outline for where I want his hair to fall. And I take always the back end a little bit shorter, but specifically along the sides, I like to comb them out. And here you can see all the hair is coming out. And again, just very roughly taking off about, I think, a half an inch here. I like to do it where their hair just meets the floor, so it's not dragging on the floor, but you can always go shorter, whatever your preference is. So this next step is optional, but I like to trim their belly with a clipper, and I basically just shave their hole underneath. I start by just gliding the blade straight down. I pick them up by their shoulder blades and just hold them really firmly, holding their armpits up as well so nothing gets tugged, and I just run it right down their belly. If you have a clipper with blade numbers, I usually use a 10 or 15, but if you don't, then it'll just be a little bit longer than what you're seeing in this clip, but regardless, it'll help. So the next area I like to start cutting is on the rear end near his butt. I pick up the top layer of hair and I take the clipper and I just run it over everything that's long so I can divide myself a line between where is going to be extra short and where I want his hair. Now this area is basically going to be bald, but you're not going to see it when he's just walking around. It's just to keep all of his boar area clean, and this works for females as well. I just like to do it especially for the boars because they tend to be a little stinkier back there, and I will show in a minute as you'll be able to see that it does not affect the surface area where his hair is. I'll brush the comb down and you'll be able to see that it looks perfectly fine from the surface, but it's nice and short underneath. So next I'm just going to start with the shears again, and this is where I like to go really in depth around the legs. beneath his private area, and I just keep a steady hand and make sure I'm very direct with where I'm placing my shears, because you definitely don't want to cut them, and this can be a very sensitive area, especially if a lot of guinea pigs don't feel comfortable being put in this position. So just be extra confident, and you can take breaks in between, give them treats, whatever you need for them to stay still. And I'm just very carefully going in between his legs and around his boar sack to make it super clean. So then I'm just picking Griffin up, and I'm using the tip of the shear and kind of pushing through the hair to get really clean around his legs. You might want to practice picking up your guinea pig a few times in this position before you start trimming their hair down there, just so you don't accidentally make a chop. But usually with a firm grip, they get pretty used to it. This clip, I'm just finishing by lifting up his hair and then scissoring where I made that line with the clipper so that I can see a fine difference between where I want him to be short and long. And then as you can see, as you lay the hair down, you cannot tell that he is short under there at all, and it works out really well. This is also personal preference, but I like to keep their armpits a bit shorter, especially with my long hair. They can be quite tangled in there sometimes, maybe with bedding and hay. So I just take the clipper between his arms and his chest, and I just go pretty short in there and lifting up his armpits along the way, and I pull just one arm to one side and another arm to the other side as I go through, just to make sure that I don't cut him. But if you don't feel comfortable doing this, you definitely don't have to. It's not mandatory. Just make sure that you're regularly checking their armpits for tangles. So this next clip will be for Peruvian guinea pigs only, but they have bangs, so I like to give them a little side bang. And because this is the rough cut, I really only just make it shorter so I don't have to bathe all that in the bath and that he can also see. But I do line it between my fingers and cut it on an angle so that the top is a little bit shorter than where he's lying down by his shoulders. So now we are moving on to the bath, and I'm just grooming him in our bathtub, our grooming tub for our dogs, but you can do this in your kitchen sink. I'm gonna wet Griffin down completely with lukewarm water just so that his body is fully covered and it makes the shampoo a little bit easier to spread. So now I'm beginning to start with shampoo, and just like most people, we're going to double shampoo as always. So the first wash is going to be with the Micronidazole shampoo. This is a guinea pig specific shampoo. You can use it on dogs and cats as well, but it's 100% safe for them to use. And it was going to clear up any lice, mites, bugs, dandruff, fungal infections, literally anything. It doesn't smell that great, but it works awesome as a cleansing shampoo, deep cleaning. I just rubbed a little bit on my hands and spread it all over his body, including his shoulders, his neck, and all the way up as far as I can to his head without getting it in his eyes, nose, and face, along with inside the ears. And I focus mainly on his back, his belly, and his butt. And then once he is fully coated in the shampoo, we're going to let it sit on him for 5 to 7 minutes at least. So now I'm just beginning to thoroughly rake him with warm water once again, avoiding his eyes as much as possible, especially his nose, but just get his whole body completely washed off. So now we're beginning with the second shampoo. This is basically going to be just like the extra clean to get his hair nice and soft, and then also help with smell. In this clip I'm using a clean linen shampoo, but I will have a link for shampoos that you can purchase in the description to this video as well. Anything that's basically dog and cat safe would be good, but there's a couple brands that are nice to stick to. And this is in a diluted shampoo bottle. Just make sure that whatever you do put on their body, you're diluting with a lot of water, because it is going to be concentrated. So while the shampoo is on, I'm just going to quickly clean out his ears with a cotton swab. I just go on the outside, and because Griffin is black based, his earwax is going to be black, but if you have a light colored pig or a white pig, their earwax is going to come out kind of like a light brownish tannish. But you don't want to go in the ear canal, just anything on the outside, and make sure that you're getting as much as possible. Sometimes they'll have a lot and sometimes they'll just have a little bit. Finally, we're going to begin our next rinse. The shampoo doesn't need to sit at all. You just apply, and then a couple minutes later just rinse it off when you're done. And just make sure that his body is super rinsed, because you're going to be applying the conditioner next, and you don't want to mix conditioner with shampoo. So then the last step is going to be conditioner. This is the Ikaria brand, I believe it's pronounced, I'm not sure. And this is the scent Nuture, and I just lather his entire body in this, avoiding his ears, his eyes, his mouth, but I do his whole belly underneath for any dry skin, and then especially his long hair. This conditioner is really, really nice. It coats beautifully, and it also is great for anyone who has allergies to smell and scents. It's a very light scent, which is much enjoyable. And then once you get the body fully coated in conditioner, you're going to want to let this sit for about 5 to 7 minutes. Finally, we are here for the last rinse, and you're just going to want to thoroughly coat their body in the lukewarm water as much as possible. I like to do at least a 5-minute rinse just to make sure that everything is out, because taking extra time to rinse versus having leftover conditioner and soap is ideal. Once everything is rinsed off and and you know that they are clean, we are going to kind of squeegee them just like you would your hair, and then pop them in a towel and begin to towel dry them. And then I take him over to the table and I just make sure that he's super dry, towel drying for a couple minutes to get as much water out as possible, and then we will start the blow dry. I like to just use a regular hair dryer on a medium to high setting for heat, and just use your best judgment on if you think the blow dryer is getting too hot for them or not. Usually medium to high is fine, as long as you keep the nozzle away from their skin. And then this clip is about 5 to 7 minutes later. You can see that he's starting to get dry and that his hair is starting to look normal again. I just go with a steady hand on the blow dryer once their hair starts to get dry like this so it doesn't get tangled at all. And I just get really close to his face, as close as possible. And this is when I'll lower the heat a little bit just so it doesn't irritate anything by his eyes or his ears. Now I just cleared the towel away and I'm gonna start to comb him out a bit to see if anything is getting tangled from the blow dryer. This is a good time to double check the length as well, because now you'll be able to see where their hair length is at. His is sitting right where I like it, and that's just gliding right above the table or the ground where they're laying on. So I'll just take my shears and just go very lightly on his tips just to make sure that everything is nice and even. And I kind of pick up the front of his body a little bit to let him elevate off the ground so I can see the line where I'm cutting at. And that'll give me a guideline to where I need to take the bottom of his fur off. Do the same thing across his back end and just use a comb and then follow a line that I make. In the back I normally take just a tiny bit shorter, so it'll be a little bit higher off the table, maybe like half an inch. And then for the right side of his body I just do the same thing where I try to elevate it so I can see the line of where his hair is coming down and do my best to get a nice crisp angle. Now the next part is their chest, and I just like to follow up with a line all around their front legs so I can see that they're not getting any more tangles up there than I need to be watching out for. And I'll just pick him up again by the top of his shoulder blades to lift and see where I see the hair coming down, and so he feels very secure with my handling. But I just go very gently in their areas. Griffin is again very used to grooming, so this might be a more timely manner with you and your guinea pig until you can figure out what they're comfortable with. And then I just lift up that top layer of fur and I get really close in that armpit, as close as you feel that you are able to. And I just trim everything out to make sure that he has no tangles. So in this clip, I am finishing the rest of his bangs, just making sure that I like the way they sit on his face. Now I'm just making any minor trims that I think he needs. I kind of like it to go on an angle down from the top of his fur so that his chest is pretty clear of hair and I don't have to worry about brushing that front area. just bring out the blow dryer again, and I just get any loose hairs up that were on him from the trim. And then I also just make sure that his skin is dry to the touch and warm. You want them to be pretty much 100% dry just because they are sensitive animals. I'll hold the blow dryer a little bit higher away from his face just so he can get the air, and then make sure that that whole area is dry as I'm running my finger through it. And then I will do the same thing on his chin and his cheeks. And then I'm just going to stop blow drying, and I'll start with the comb and take the comb over his body, make sure that I like the way everything is looking, and you can make any last minute decisions that you want to do, but you are pretty much done.